Jimmy Pykrust here in the KJVR Purple Street Studios in beautiful downtown Jollyville. You're listening to Jollyville Radio, and I'm eating a bowl of butter pecan ice cream. We have a lovely show for you today, folks. First up, let's enjoy some nice and relaxing haikus for bedtime. After that, we offer you exclusive coverage of the annual State of Bread lecture featuring Dr. Krinklehorn McTinkleberger. Then, UncleASAR interviews Stephanie Leichtle-Chalklen of Kuluntu Bakery in Dallas, Texas. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Smooth, round, hard. Announcing the all-new line of luxury pizza stones by the designer Robert Cheerful.
Jollyville Radio sends a shout out to Elizabethton. Jollyville Radio sends a shout out to Elizabethton. Then I have to get back up to another T. Elizabethton. Jollyville Radio sends a shout out to Elizabethton, Tennessee. Population 13,577. How y'all doing?
Take a deep, relaxing breath. Let the troubles of the day fall away behind you as you exhale. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel your body from your toes, your legs, your torso, all the way up to your shoulders, shutting off and sinking down heavily into your chair or bed. It's time for haiku for bedtime. Down to sleep I lie, wishing for a winter's dream, with you by my side. Every tooth is flossed, none will drop like leaves of fall. I can sleep at peace. Now time for good sleep. Winter thoughts stir in my brain, won't cooperate. This has been haiku for bedtime, because sweet dreams are made of these.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the State of Bread Lecture, a joint collaboration between the Jollyville Community College District Culinary Arts Program, the Staverton Pastry Academy, and the Oxford University. While we wait for the lecture to begin, please find your breadsticks available for download from your preferred podcasting platform. Your complimentary 7-day free trial of marinara will be sent to your email address. You may cancel at any time. Aha! And here we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Krinklehorn McTinkleberger, taking the stage.
Hello. Yes, thank you. I am honored to be giving the State of Bread address tonight. When I was originally asked here, I thought I couldn't possibly be the sort of person they would entrust with such a thing, or should I say, encrust. We have seen many advances in the theoretical and analytical arts in relation to bread this year, such as Dr. Pendergrass's work on Melba toast, Dr. Volution's work on hypnotic strains of yeast, and Dr. Skrilagen's work on the quantum entanglement of toast with tea and jam. I look forward to very promising works of bread study, particularly from the world bread researchers, currently slicing into bread such as tortilla, naan, and pita. Moving right along then. Now, consider the sourdough. This sourdough, in fact, I have a specimen right here. This particular loaf has already been properly baked. If I were to slice it and bake it again, this would trigger a Maillard reaction in the various sugars and amino acids, creating toast, an entirely different state of bread.
What an exciting and illuminating lecture from Dr. McTinkleberger. Now, as is customary, the audience will have an opportunity to ask questions. The audience is lining up at the microphones placed in the aisles now. First, we have Dr. J.J. Fickle, an astrophysical seismologist from Washington, Virginia.
Dr. McTinkleberger, would you care to elaborate on the recent discoveries in the field of open-faced pies?
Yes, I believe you are referring to my work in the mutations of pizza. There was an interesting debate recently by researchers Mutton and Cook about the classification of pizza rice based on the container it is in. However, the research is only preliminary at this point. As we all know, pizza already comes in many established forms. Spaghetti, for example, being pizza in a semi-soup of carbohydrates, tomato sauce, and cheese in a bowl, and lasagna being a sort of pizza cake.
A hushed silence has come over the audience. Clearly, the word lasagna has sparked some sort of controversy amongst the attendees. One Mr. Bobby Balcones, commonly referred to as the Casserole Casanova, has stepped up to the microphone.
Excuse me, Dr. McTinkleberger? Why have you been avoiding my calls?
Oh, Bobby Balcones, you're here. Your calls have been about recipe analyzers, and I really don't think that pertains here. Security, please. Yes, why don't we go to the next questionnaire?
Hold up. Now, wait a minute, Dr. McDougleberger, whatever your name is. My friend Amanda Keeton has been missing for 11 episodes, and I think you know something about it.
What? That is preposterous. I wouldn't possibly know anything about a reporter covering a lasagna mystery. Next question, please, from the young lady with the mustache.
At the microphone now, we have a woman with a large nose, thick glasses, and a handlebar mustache. Let's see what she has to say.
Dr. McTinkleberger, would you care to explain how much you've been paid to retrieve a famous recipe?
What? How do you know about that?
Perhaps you'll recognize me without my disguise.
Amanda Keeton, but I thought my overdressed thugs had taken you out.
I knew it. I just knew it.
Well, no, I mean, taking her out for ice cream.
Security, get him out of here.
And now the event security officers are rushing the stage. It is quite the chaos. Dr. Crinklethorne McTinkleberger appears to be throwing baguettes at the officers, but he is no match for them. Yes, and now they have taken him away. The previously disguised Amanda Keeton is walking to the microphone. Let's see what she has to say.
Greetings to the Jollyville Community College District Culinary Arts Program, the Staverton Pastry Academy, and Oxford University. Thank you for having me. I'm here to announce the conclusion of my research into Stan's missing lasagna. It turns out that our very own Kitty Westlake, a cornerstone of the Jollyville community, grew up in Malakoff. When she moved to Jollyville, she left everything behind except for one thing: her family recipe for double sausage Dutch oven lasagna. When she won a blue ribbon for it at the 16th annual Jollyville Competitive Casserole Cook-Off Extravaganza, the Malakoff Lasagna elite couldn't handle it. They hired a team led by Dr. Crinklethorne McTinkleberger to steal the recipe back. They even hired secret agents to steal samples of lasagna and began to follow me and Bobby Balcones around. Luckily, Kitty found out and helped me go into hiding until we gathered enough evidence to put him away.
That's what I'm talking about. Miss Amanda Keeton. You go, girl.
For KJVR in Jollyville, I'm Amanda Keeton. You're listening to Jollyville Radio, KJVR.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Leichtle-Chalklen from Kuluntu Bakery, and you are listening to Jollyville Radio on KJVR.
winners of bingo for the week of April 27th, 2021. Haiku in Arlington, Texas, and the proud mom of Julia Stonewash, Kathy Ansenek in Traverse City, Michigan. To hear your name on Jollyville Radio, you can play along at any time with episode 208, the bingo episode. Go to jollyvilleproductions.com/bingo to request or download your free bingo card. That's jollyvilleproductions.com/bingo.
Time to make the donuts in 3, 2. This is Jollyville Community Beat with UncleASAR, turning the spotlight on good people doing great work in the real world. In the KJVR Radio Purple Street Studio, we have Stephanie Leichtle-Chalklen, baker extraordinaire and owner of Kuluntu Bakery near the Bishop Art District in Oak Cliff area of Dallas, Texas. A cottage bakery, building community through baking and breaking bread. Stephanie Leichtle-Chalklen, how are you? And welcome to Community Beat.
Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me here today.
All right. Stephanie, we all want to know what's cooking at Kuluntu Bakery. What's on your menu?
Oh boy, we have a lot of goodies. I specialize in sourdough bread, so that's what we're known for. But I'm always experimenting with different pastries. So I have a different pastries. They're seasonal and also inspired by South African flavors. And I just try to keep things interesting, rotate my menu often, and bring some different and unexpected flavor combinations to my customers.
Now, you started Kuluntu Bakery as a side hustle, right? How did that happen?
Yes, so I was baking professionally up in New York City. And after living there for a few years, my husband and I decided to move to Cape Town, South Africa, because he's from South Africa. And I decided at that point that I wanted to start my own business. And so once we moved, I just kind of went into it and started it. We kind of hit the ground running, but decided to move back to Dallas, Texas, where I'm from. And so we thought, okay, I think we might be onto something. So let's bring this whole concept back with us to Dallas and see how the community kind of responds and embraces us. And turns out that they responded really well and have been embracing us and just really, I think, enjoying this cultural element that we bring to baked goods.
Now, you mentioned South Africa. Now, I know Kuluntu is a word from Southern Africa. Why don't you share with our listeners what language that is, what it means in English, and why you chose it for your bakery?
So Kuluntu means community in Xhosa, which is a South African language. It's spoken a lot in the Eastern Cape and also in the Western Cape in Cape Town, where we were living. And we chose it because we really wanted the business to be not just a business that sells bread, but something that really brings people in through baking, but also just sharing a meal together. And we decided on this name when we were in South Africa, as I said. So we really wanted to bring, we saw in Cape Town especially that there was a lot of cuisines from other parts of the world in like the city center, and we didn't see a real embrace of South African cuisine and language as much in the city center where we were. And so we really wanted it to also reflect South Africa. So that's why we chose that name.
Now, you bake more than just bread at Kuluntu, and you have a lot of events. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so in normal times, in non-COVID times, we are probably more known for our events that we do. So we have a South African supper club that we host, which we're really eager to do again once it's safe to. And then I also teach classes, so baking classes, again, specializing in the sourdough bread. But I bake lots of other things. I bake cakes. I bake viennoiserie, which is like laminated pastries. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. Have expanded my menu this year, so I'm learning and working and lots of trial and error in the kitchen.
Now you have a slogan, building community through baking and breaking bread. That's deep to me. And it reminds me of another South African concept of Ubuntu. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's I am because we are. Is that where you're coming from with Kuluntu Bakery and the things that you do?
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, because that's a concept that we really believe in our house. And like I said, my husband is South African, and that's something that really, a philosophy that really connects with him, which is why we do these Ubuntu supper clubs. So yeah, I think that we want to embrace people into our world. And I think that, we're in a really difficult time in the world, and it's easy to, and I'm guilty of it, focus on our differences a lot of the time, but we think that by bringing people into our home, having strangers together, spending the day together, either baking a loaf of bread, and also sharing lunch, but then also with our supper club, sitting down together and really dining as strangers. We think that's a really powerful experience. And it's something that we've really missed doing during the pandemic. And like I said, we can't wait to do it again because I think people really need that, are eager for that connection again.
Stephanie, where can we find Kuluntu Bakery on the internet?
We are at kuluntubakery.com. It's KULUNTU Bakery. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Kuluntu Bakery.
Stephanie Leichtle-Chalklen, thank you for talking with us, and we wish you the best of the best.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
This has been Jollyville Community Be with UncleASAR, and dig this. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. Peace. Michael, I'm hungry after talking about all that bread.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah, South Africa. I'm looking forward to going.
Yeah, it's such a complex and fascinating country. I mean, wow, it's a doozy of a country, but it's really special. And there's just so much there, so much to learn. Really beautiful people, and just like the landscape. Wow, it's insane. So. Let me know when you go.
Okay.
We'll have some recommendations.
Can you make pop?
Yes, I can.
Really?
I've always made it for the supper club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I ate it for the first time when I was in Tennessee for a minute, and this guy from Zimbabwe. I almost moved to Zimbabwe, and then the whole economy crashed. That's why I left Lagos. The economy crashed and then in Zimbabwe. But he had made it, and I was like, okay, because I don't do fufu or pounded yam in West Africa. I really don't do that. Is your husband shy? Can we say hello? He's standing there behind the camera.
He is not shy, but let me grab him real fast.
What's up?
Here he is.
Hey
guys.
Sanibo Nanibo.
What's up? Yeah, but
yeah, bo.
Yeah, lovely to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I heard you spent time in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a place that we want to go. So when we head out there, listen, when you want to go to South Africa, let us know. We'd love to just share some itinerary and make sure you have a good time.
I sure will. We will keep in touch.
Yeah,
drag Michael with me, so.
Yeah, please. Michael's sitting there like he's not going to get on the plane with you. I don't know what's happening with Michael over there.
Oh, well, it has been a pleasure meeting you both. You look like a lovely couple.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to meet you and talking again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
The creative team that wrote and performed these episodes of Jollyville Radio includes UncleASAR Alkebalon, Emily Ansonek, Lizzie Brister, Michael Crosa, Michelle Darcy, Richard Dayry, Brian Green, Alan Kay, Pilar Kep, Robert Leary, Thomas Schlitt, Matt Wake, Kay Wise Denty.
Special appearances by Bob Dawn of the Bob Short Story Hour and Hidden Oaks Podcast.
Lead editing by Dr. Montse Santillan with social media help by Emily Ansonek. Direction and music by Michael Crosa. The recording was made in accordance with social distancing.
Jollyville Radio is a product of Jollyville Brass Quintet, member of the Austin Creative Alliance. We are based in Austin, Texas.
If you're enjoying Jollyville Radio, consider supporting us on Patreon. For a small monthly pledge, you can have a big impact on the success of the show. Plus, depending on your pledge, you can get bonuses like access to the script archive, letters from characters, and even a chance to hear your own voice on the show. Just go to patreon.com and search for Jollyville Radio.
The credits were read by the writers of episodes 214 through 217. They are UncleASAR, Akebulan, Emily, Ansonet, Michael Crosa, Brian Green, Pilar Kep, KY Stenti. We'll see you next time on Jollyville Radio.